It was a dark and stormy night, and Jane was sound asleep in her bed. Suddenly, she was jolted awake by a loud clap of thunder. As she lay there, trying to shake off the grogginess of sleep, she realized that she was in the middle of a nightmare. She was in an old, decrepit mansion, with peeling wallpaper and creaky floorboards. The house was eerily quiet, save for the sound of the storm raging outside. Suddenly, she heard a faint whispering coming from the next room. She slowly made her way towards the source of the noise, her heart pounding in her chest. As she entered the room, she saw a ghostly figure standing in the corner. It was a woman, dressed in a long, flowing gown. Her face was twisted in a grotesque expression of pain and terror. Jane was paralyzed with fear, unable to move or even scream. The ghostly woman began to float towards her, her long, bony fingers reaching out to grab her. Jane tried to run, but her legs were like lead. She was trapped, with no way to escape the ghost's grasp. As the ghost's hand closed around her throat, Jane woke up with a start, her heart racing and her sheets drenched in sweat. She sat up in bed, gasping for air, and realized it was just a nightmare. But the memory of the ghostly woman stayed with her, making her wonder if the ghost was trying to tell her something or if it was a warning of something to come. Jane couldn't shake off the feeling of unease. She knew that she needed to find a way to put the ghost spirit to rest or she would have to live with the nightmare forever. She made up her mind to find a way to solve the mystery behind the ghost's appearance. From that night on, Jane's life would never be the same again, as she embarked on a journey to uncover the truth behind her nightmare and put the ghost spirit to rest. With determination in her heart, Jane set out to find a way to put the ghost spirit to rest. She spent the next few days researching and talking to people who had experience with dealing with ghosts. She learned that the key to putting a ghost to rest was to uncover the reason why it was still lingering on this plane of existence. In order to do this, she would have to investigate the history of the mansion and the woman who appeared in her nightmare. Jane dug deep into the past of the mansion, and soon discovered that it had been built by a wealthy businessman who had a dark secret. He had been involved in a scandal that had led to the ruin of many people's lives, including that of the ghostly woman who appeared in her nightmare. She had been one of the businessman's victims and had died in the mansion, her spirit trapped there, unable to find peace. With this information in hand, Jane knew what she had to do. She went back to the mansion, this time armed with a plan. She stood in the same room where she had had the nightmare, and called out to the ghostly woman. "I know what happened to you," she said. "I know why you're still here. I want to help you find peace." The ghostly woman appeared before her, her face contorted in pain and anger. But as Jane spoke, her expression softened, and she began to speak. She told Jane about the injustice that had been done to her, and the hatred and resentment that had kept her trapped in the mansion. Jane listened with a heavy heart, knowing that she had to do something to help the ghost. She suggested an apology to the ghost woman and to make amends for the wrong that had been done to her. The ghostly woman looked at her, her face etched with sadness, and nodded. Jane knew that this was what the ghost wanted, a way to make amends for the wrongs that had been done to her. With a sense of peace, the ghostly woman faded away and the mansion was peaceful again. Jane felt a sense of accomplishment and a weight lifted off her shoulders. She knew that the ghost had finally found the peace that she deserved. From that day on, Jane never had the nightmare again and the ghost never appeared again. She knew that the ghost woman had finally found her rest and that she had helped her achieve it.